Hello, YouTube! Welcome back to Attack of the B Team with GenerikB. A couple things have changed since last episode. One of which is that I have, I think, one or two new trophies here. I had the cow beforehand. I got that from our grinder upstairs. I also, since I went through all those creepers, I got a creeper trophy. Blows up like that. I also got a spider trophy. Kind of cool little guy there. Another thing I did was I took Wolf, who's I think it was Tri-Wolf, one of our commenters, and I took his advice and I made a little automated system here for producing later on clear glass. So this is one of my first forays into Project Red. Basically, it's just a timer. I sort of played around with it for a while until I got the right mixture here, and it's actually not the right mixture because this is out of aluminum, but this is working theoretically, and it's what happens if the thing overflows? We'll find out soon. Hang on. This could be a problem. All right, hold on a sec. Okay, I just whipped up a second timer because one is definitely not going to be enough for this. I thought it might be. I thought I could get away with just using one timer, but this thing is just filling up faster than I thought it would. So I do actually have a second base in here. I put this over here and set this to 14 is what I have this other one set at, and that seems to be enough time for this thing to fill, solidify, go into the hopper, and then go back in. Not be totally sync. Actually, let's check it out. That's odd. Why didn't that work? Ah, so that's what's happening. I love Batform. It has so many uses, like this, for example. So what is happening is that this thing, this Project Red timer, is when it gets to its cycle, it sends out a redstone signal, not just to this part here, which is the in-out or whatever, but also to the adjacent blocks, including the one here. And when it hits this one, it resets the timer on the second one, which is not what I want. So I'm going to put this, and I hope this works. It might not. Here. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So if I set this to 14 seconds, just like the other one, it should be eventually, they won't be synchronized, but it'll be close enough that this thing will work. Excellent. That's what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, I don't think I can actually use. Yeah, it is a multi-part, but I can't use a panel, make it look a little nicer. But no worries. I'm fine. I'm happy that it works at all. So cool. So I now have a manufacturing system for clear glass. And again, thank you to Wolf. I'm sorry for getting your username wrong, doing off memory, for suggestion of using this system. I'm not going to use this clear glass a lot right now. Maybe a couple holes I want to patch in my base, but I am going to use it a lot in the near future. Specifically, when I get to building my wildlife preserve, that's going to need a tremendous amount of clear glass. I could use the bubble glass from Chisel, which I do really like that bubble glass. And unfortunately, it does give the little well, you've seen it at my little penthouse. It gives these little tick marks on the side here and up here, which is nice, and it works here, and it's kind of efficient because all you need is ink sacs. On the other hand, it requires ink sacs, whereas clear glass now requires nothing special, just a whole lot of automation. And you can see I had this MFR farm working pretty good. The fertilizer is working slow but steady, and I'm producing a fair amount. It's certainly self-cycling. It's not self-filling at the moment. I'm not sure I'm going to do that really. I could find a way to connect these two here, but then again, I would make continuously cycle because if you remember, the planter has an internal buffer of a hell of a lot. So I'd have to fill this in order to have a surplus with which to grab from and theoretically bring downstairs to breed my chickens, which are actually not breeding right now. I'm just producing eggs from these two, which is fine. I don't really need that at the moment. So I got 4 sheep, 2 cows, and 2 chickens. That's pretty decent when it comes to it. I think right now I am out of wheat. I could replace that, but no real rush at the moment. Okay, so it's now nighttime. I had to fix a little issue there. So I'm going to sleep, and I'm going to show you I guess you can call it, well, I'm going to have you guess what it is when you see it. You can probably figure it out, but rest assured, it is my first attempt. So be right back. And it's another beautiful morning here in Tech of the B Team here on Elizabeth Island, to Sokolto. because it is roughly shaped like a dragon's head, and I like that quite a bit. So we're going to have here, I don't think I showed you this. I got this stone path from Crayfish Mod, and I set this thing, actually, you can see on my map here. I have this stone path from here all the way here, over to this thing, over to here, and then it continues with my makeshift sea lift all the way here. This is all stone path to my other bridge to here, which is my mine. I'm actually going to work on that in the future. It's nothing really special. It's just, it's mine. And my mine is mine, so it's therefore mine. I'm making a lot of noise. Oh, he's trapped. Okay, so he is the unfortunate victim of some of my experiments. So I might as well put him out of my misery. There we go. So what happened there was basically I was playing around with the way that ice works, because I'm working on a new project and I need a lot of ice for it. So I decided to go into the river and cut a few pieces, a few blocks off, because I'm fairly certain that, now I'm actually positive, that the way that chisel changes the way that ice forms is it's useful, but at the same time it's kind of strange. What happens is when you break ice, it turns into these ice shards. Now, ice shards, take 4 of these, put them in your crafting grid, and you get an ice block. The weird part is that I have at times, and I think this is random, as far as I can tell this is random, broken ice blocks and gotten more than 4 ice shards in it. And as far as I can tell, ice shards are useless, so it is possible, with just using a pickaxe, to get more ice shards worth of blocks than you actually mine. So that's a little bit weird, but okay, that is what it is. So now I'm gonna give you a minute to just look at this thing, and you can sort of maybe take a guess as to what it is. Don't have to really put it in the comments, because I think the title of this episode is gonna make it pretty clear. However, if you look at the thing, you may need a second to figure out, wait, what the heck was he trying to? Oh yeah, this is an igloo. This is my attempt at an igloo. It's got right now a dirt floor. I had to put some torches in here, which unfortunately gets rid of the snow, but it does not fortunately melt these snow blocks. It just melts these snow sort of carpeting layers. I think I may try and play around with some other alternative for the floor. Maybe do a white wool carpet, because the snow melts, and I don't think I am pretty sure if you put torches next to ice blocks, they will also melt. So that's going to be a little bit tricky. However, this is definitely not my igloo. This thing is an igloo in name only. This is the building formerly known as igloo. What I want to do now is I want to try and build a real igloo. Well, much as one as I can do. So I think I'm gonna build it like right across the street. So this is sort of like the bad part of town on the other side of the stone path. So first thing I do is I gotta clear off a little bit more land. So I'm gonna do that quickly and be right back. Alrighty then, now that I got my sort of canvas to work with here, let's see what I can do exactly. So I've got ice. I really want to play around with ice. So what can I do with ice exactly? Well, ice is some chisel, and I have actually this is actually a Tinker's Construct chisel, but I don't know if this actually works. Let me try this. Nope, Tinker's Construct chisel does not work on chisel ice. I don't know if it actually works on regular ice either. So let's try snow. See if that makes a difference. Nope. Okay, so Tinker's Construct chisel is not useful at the moment. Lovely. However, I do also have the chisel from. Let's check this out. Okay, so oh yeah, that's right. This chisel has a GUI. Oh yeah, I need it with the shovel. No worries. See, I got 5 from that one. That's kind of weird, but cool at the same time. Get it? Cool. Alright, so chisel, let's put in some blocks, and we got a whole bunch of possibilities here. So I need something that looks kind of like an igloo. At first glance, this looks like my best bet. Oh, interesting. So you can only pick 1 per stack. Oh, that's not too bad. Let me take a look at this. Oh, look, it still gets most of the translucency. You can still kind of see behind it, but it looks like it would be a pretty cool thing to work with. Okay, now another thing I saw, hang on a sec. I believe it was snow. Yeah, here we go. Mindcrack Reloaded snow bricks. So if you take bricks and you put them in, where is it? Here we go. You can put it with ice to make ice bricks, or glowstone, lapis, obsidian, or snow to make stone bricks. So I can make ice and snow bricks. So let's take a look at this. So I went around and I got a whole bunch of clay. I'm going to need a lot more when I get into witchery. Yes, I'm going to get into witchery. And I made a lot of this brick here. So let's put some snow. It actually makes quite a bit, fortunately. Let's get a whole bunch of that. And need some more ice. This, by the way, right next to me is my glacial precipitator, which needs a little bit of power, not terribly much, but just enough. So I took a couple of the 3 leadstone energy cells, and oh, that was way too many. Okay, I'm using that a bit. So this is the ice brick from chisel. This is the snow brick, and where is it? Ice brick. Well, they're all blue, but the reason I went with the snow to begin with is because I really like the way that snow looks. It looks whitish. This kind of doesn't really work for me. Let me just check something here. Anything else I can do with ice besides that? That's the chisel. I can make large ice bricks, which requires stone brick. Okay, let me try that and see what difference it makes. I think it's just like a slight difference in the size. I don't think that much difference. So I have stone brick. It was a lot easier to come by, obviously. So there we go. So now this is large ice bricks. Let's just compare these two. Oh, I see the difference. Look. So this could work for me. This could definitely work for me. So I basically have this sort of ice brick here. Oh, it's getting dark again. I'll have to sleep pretty soon. Okay, so I have this ice here. I have got this snow and this ice to work. It looks like I'm gonna have snow and ice to make this igloo out of. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go sleep and be right back. Okay, so what I'm thinking here, and this is not completely inspired by myself. My girlfriend's a really big fan of blue, so as much as I love having all this white, all this snow around here, I think I should include a couple of blue also. So let me just get the lay of the land a little bit. Here, I'm thinking the entrance should be right about here, but I don't want it sort of necessarily up like that. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here and here. Yeah, look at it. It looks almost like a neon blue. Although actually, this guy looks like a creeper face. Well, not creeper, but like a gassed face, like ree, ree, or something creepy. But I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks very spacey. This would be very cool if I could put this. I might use this when I make my ski lift, and that's coming up very soon, definitely. I want to do some experiments with the way that mine carts work to get some cool effects on that. But at the moment, what I have is this. All right, so this part here is pretty straightforward. I think I better put so the shovel. Yep, a couple more here. Just make this. I'll make this kind of like the foyer, like that. But over here, I want to start using the other stuff. So I have a pickaxe. I forget another one. I'm running low here. Although I'll keep this here as kind of a. No, I can't. I have to move it. Oh, interesting. That's good to know. So the ice, these blocks here are destroyed if you don't hit them with a silk touch, which I don't have at the moment because I don't have enough of emerald. I need to get some when I get a chance. Oh well, main things on my to-do list. So I got this here, but I don't think I want to use this like that. I think what I want to do with this. So how do I make this again? Get some chisel. Drop in. I have more ice than that. Give me that. I'm gonna need quite a bit of these. Yes, there we go. Cool. I like the fact that chisel module doesn't use durability. That's a pretty useful thing. But why I do not want to use this whole block here. What I want to use, at least the thing in this case, are where are they? Here we go. carpenter's blocks, and specifically I want to use these collapsible carpenter's blocks. So I think at this point I'm going to have to go into bat mode because I'm going to do some near creative mode movement. Now the main difficulty, well, the main issue to overcome is that this thing doesn't look like an igloo. This thing looks like, well, looks kind of like a frozen armadillo or some kind of lizard, you know, with a spine with the red eyes, which I thought would be a good idea, but kind of look creepy in hindsight. So I'm going to put this and this, then that and that. Now I'm going to take this carpenter's hammer. Now this is actually the first time I've ever used this thing. But what I want to do is I want to try and get this thing at sort of an angle. Okay, so right clicking does nothing. So how about left clicking? Okay. I see. Okay, so it's sort of moving at an angle. I can live with that. I can live with that. So let me try and move it down a little bit more. So right now I've got basically a 45-degree angle at the halfway point. Let's see how it looks both ways. Ultimately, what I want to do is I want to try and create some kind of curves, and that might be actually impossible. I'm going to do my best in the meantime. So let me just put there's a spacer. Actually, it's got to be too high, so I can just put this here. I like that. Look, it gives the illusion of a curve without actually having a curve. Nice. Okay, so this is our main entrance. Cool, so I'm going to work on this a little more and be right back. Very interesting. Okay, so one thing I'm doing with this iGloo version 2.0 that I did not do with the first model is that I'm trying to build this thing from the top down as opposed to the bottom up. So I started off with these 5 snow bricks. These are normal snow bricks, and I'm basically trying to sort of figure out a way to get this thing to sort of flow all the way down at this kind of angle. Now, for the most part, once it gets to like here, it's going to be pretty much smooth, so I can use normal snow bricks. But up until that point, I really wanted to have sort of a gradual decline. So I tried over here are these carpenter's wedges, and they're just too sharp. I mean, it's the same effect as if I were to make stairs out of these snow bricks, which I think I can actually do, but I don't really want to. However, over here, what I did is I took, this is one carpenter's collapsible block. This is the second one. So I basically am doing a slow decline almost over here to a 45-degree angle, but not quite. I actually up this a little bit if I want to, but I don't think I want. Well, yeah, I'm actually going to have to because at this point, I'm going to have to put another collapsible block here and drop this here. So this is going to look oh, you know what? I like it. I actually like having that little lip there. It makes it look like this thing is sort of made in pieces as opposed to being one contiguous shape. I mean, I never actually seen igloo in person, but my guess is that it's not completely utterly smooth. It probably has a couple of blocky parts to it, but we'll see about that. So this is also going to have to go pretty far down, probably almost to 45, or actually lower than that. Because I don't want this thing to be too big. I want it to kind of, yeah, let's bring it to this little dotted line there. There we go. So it's a little bit less than that. And at that point, I'm also going to have to do another one, I think, here. I like how this thing automatically sort of mirrors the existing one because it kind of assumes, well, at least says it's sort of a starting point for it. I like that because it makes it easier for me to go from there all the way to a little teeny thing here. Now, I wish I could remember what exactly. Oh, interesting. So I actually can't go all the way down. Huh. So if I were to do this, perfect. I like it. It gives me a little lip without being too pronounced. I can actually bring it back up if I want more, but I kind of like this. It's a little bit irregular. That's what I'm looking for in this case. So let me just put the thing in here. Got that. Nice. Okay, now one thing that's kind of weird is that when I try and place a block like that, oh, it didn't work this time. Oh, weird. Before when I tried over here, it put it into the bottom. I guess maybe the position of where I place the block makes a difference, but oh well. Okay, so let's try this one. Now this should be the one that tapers straight down into what I want this to work with. Let me take a look back here and just look at this angle for a second. So if you imagine this is the beginning, nope, that's not going to work. It's going to be a little bit too oblique. Okay, so this has got to be sharper. Okay, be right back. So as far as I can tell, because of how small I want to make this particular igloo, I really cannot make a smooth, almost cylindrical surface. I really can't. I could theoretically do it. I made this thing like freaking huge, but because I'm making it so small, this I think is the best that I'm gonna get, so to speak. So what I have here, let me just change this because this is not necessary. So what I have is essentially a combination of the normal blocks here. Actually, this is wrong. So get rid of that. I do not, in fact, need collapsible blocks on the side. I just need regular bricks. So what I did is I've basically got, it goes the slope down, 1 over, and regular brick. Then I'm using carpenter's wedge slopes on their sides. And that's giving me the angle I need. And I'm almost using a snow brick here and here. And so I put another wedge here, it falls in and gets this. So I had this sort of almost looks like a castle approach. I kind of like that. So this is the closest I'm going to get. I tried collapsible bricks. If there is a way to turn collapsible bricks on their side and sort of collapse them what do you call it, horizontally, please let me know. But at the moment, this thing is the best thing I'm going to get for this particular igloo. So I'm gonna finish this off here and get a rough in for this thing and finish the episode. So be right back. There we go. So the roof isn't finished yet, but this thing is definitely starting to take shape. So I think I can do one last thing, but before I'm definitely out of time for this episode. I think I have a couple more collapsible blocks. So I can put one here and here, and I've got a few more of these ice from chisel. Drop that here and here. Now, although I kind of like the idea of coming out from over there, I do want it to slope downwards so it looks more like it's coming from the center here. I might change it if I want to, but I like the idea of having a sort of an archway to begin this thing. Now, one thing I guess this thing is still survived because I haven't lost the block. You know, these are actually ice blocks. They haven't dissolved because there's torch next to it. That is a very good sign. It means that these probably will not melt. If they do, or if this one is in the middle, then I'll think of another way around this. But for the moment, I'm definitely over time. I have got the rough in for my igloo 2.0, which is coming together pretty nicely. I'm going to do some cool stuff with this, pun intended, definitely. So this has been GenerikB for Attack of the B Team, and I'm in an igloo. Until next time.